certainly problems. One of them is traffic density in cities. And when we're talking about shuttles like this, we're talking of shared mobility. That means many people can use these shuttles to get transported from door to door, and thus we think that traffic density in city centers will be dramatically reduced. What people will notice in this changed mobility is that they do not have to park their own car somewhere in the city. They can just order a shuttle like Cube and hop on and get delivered to where they ever want to go. And when they are ready, for example, imagine a day at a restaurant, you have a glass of wine, you want to go home, you just call another Cube, hop on and get transported back home to your front door. Legislation is one important aspect. We need to have a consensus how these kinds of cars can be homologated. Another important aspect is, of course, how fast the car makers will come across these kind of new mobility, because we as Continental supply the technology and the systems for these vehicles. But it's the car manufacturers who give the pace when these vehicles will hit the road.
With a number of those parking structures, if they're not in the inner city, they're actually not so well accepted. So people will rather find a parking spot outside than go into a parking structure like this, because it's narrow and you have to pay and so on and so forth. So this is actually something that gives a very high benefit to the owners and outfitters of the parking structures. This is something that's pretty far along. So I'd say 1 or 2 years time until this technology could really be rolled out in the field. And since it's mostly installed in parking structures, you have controlled circumstances. So it's much easier to get something like this going than if you do it on the road with all sorts of pedestrians and drivers, and you have to be prepared for it.
Mobility has become really an important topic with the automotive industry due to a couple of different factors. Mainly, autonomous vehicles are starting to become more prevalent, more of a hot topic as we get some of the technologies that will get us to a fully autonomous vehicle. When that happens, the entire automotive and really transportation industry is going to evolve and change. And with that, mobility is the big question there as to what's going to happen. And so the automotive manufacturers, a lot of the large suppliers are really looking to the future to be able to adapt to that before the change happens.